hopefully you all received your Summit boxes, and so then also received your Olive and June nail polish. If you didn't, hopefully you've got some polish ready. We're super excited to have you guys all here with us for this first ever virtual Sweatworking Summit week. And this session is brought to you by Olive and June. I'm also going to give a quick shout out to the other partners of ours from this week. So we also want to give a shout out to Tonal, Ufos, Curious Elixirs, Les Mills, NYX, Boone, Undone, Wander Beauty, Avrani, August, R&Co, Tone House, Mad Tasty, Asutra, Wordiful, Half Day, and Athletic Brewing Company. And if everyone wants to use the chat to just quickly introduce yourself and share your favorite nail polish color.
Oh, JM from Olive and June. I love to see it.
So I'm going to spotlight Liv from Olive and June, who's going to lead the workshop. And if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to use the chat and we'll make sure that they get asked.
Hi. Wow, I can see my face so big. I'm echoing for myself, so if I'm echoing in your ear, I apologize. But hi, I'm Liv. I am the Director of Content at Olive and June. I am essentially the person who gets to paint their nails 4 times a day, and they pay me to do it. So I have the best job in the world. But I'm super excited to teach you all how to do your nails at home. Olive and June started as a fantastic nail salon in Los Angeles, and about 3 years into making people the happiest they'd ever been walking out of our salon, we wondered how we could bring that amazing feeling to everyone. We knew that 98% of people felt better when their nails were done, and realized that over 98% of them didn't know how to do it themselves. So enter our Mani system. Our Mani system is this cutie little box that contains everything you need to do your nails at home and nothing that you don't. I will walk you through all of the tools you need. If you do not have all these tools with you, no worries, just follow along. The tips should carry you through the rest of your nail journey. And as always, I am here, Hope is here. You can DM us, email us, call us, chat us, text us anytime, basically 24 hours a day, and we're here to solve your Mani problems. So this is everything you need in this box. I was a die-hard gel salon girl. I had a standing appointment every 2 weeks at the salon. I had gels, I cut my cuticles, I couldn't paint my nails to save my life. And now I do nail art in my living room. So anyone can learn. If I can do it, you can do it. All it takes is a little bit of practice. I believe you all got CCT and a top coat in your box. Is that right? Perfect. Okay, so CCT is perfect for beginners because it's a sheer shade. I like to think of sheers like lip glosses versus lipstick. You basically can apply this as a beginner and not do it perfectly, and you'll basically still come out looking great. For purposes of instruction, I'm going to use a darker color just so you can see it show up on my nails. But sheers are definitely the way to go if you're new to starting. And I see that we have a JM fan in the house, so I will show JM just because some of the tips we teach you are better to see when you can basically see the contrast on my nail. But that said, Hope is here in the chat. I'm here. Hope will shout out questions to me as they go. If you want to see something again, if you're confused, we'll do it for you. Hope is a living legend.
Yay! Thank you. What an introduction.
Hope, why don't you introduce yourself, and I will flip the camera so that we can get started.
I am Hope. I'm part of the customer experience team here at Olive and June. So if you do have any questions, like she said, I will be in the DMs of our Instagram. I also am in our emails, in our chat on our website. So just let us know if you have any questions, but we'll walk you through how to get a perfect mani today. So if you have any questions, let us know in the chat and I can read them to Liv. We can answer them together. We can go over shades, whatever you'd like. But besides that, we can get started.
All right. I am very excited to be sporting two of our new spring colors today. This is Lava, which is like the yummiest, spiciest orange red. And this is Angelfish, the dreamiest pale blue. I often sport two nails like this with two very different nail shapes. I'm just weird because I test different things, but pay no mind to any of that. How are we looking on framing, lighting? Everything look good to you, Hope?
Looks good.
All right, let's get into it. So you may be wondering why I already have polish on my hands. By the way, I'm going to be painting with my non-dominant hand to prove that this truly works. So I am a proud righty and I'll be painting with my left hand. So we begin this manicure, as we do all manicures, with shaping. And the reason why I have polish on right now is shaping is one of the hardest things to do, particularly as you get started. And what we love is when you shape with your old polish on, you really get a sense of what that final shape is going to look like. A lot of people, myself included, have very uneven nail whites, which means as my nail continues to grow out, the white part of my nail might be a little bit longer on one side, a little bit shorter over here. And what a lot of beginners do is they'll cut all the white part off and end up with something that looks very wonky and very uneven. So by having polish on, it's a little bit of a cheat to see what your final look is going to be. The other thing about shaping is we give you two tools to shape. One is a flat edge clipper. Most of the clippers you buy in the drugstore or wherever have that like kind of rounded semicircular shape. This flat edge clipper is brilliant because it lets you clip any shape you want. The rounder ones tend to force you into a round shape, and we're not about that forcing life. We're like whatever shape you want. And then the second tool for shaping is your dual grit nail file. This has two grits to it, a tougher grit and then a softer grit. And the softer grit is the side we'll be using today for shaping. So our philosophy on shaping is what we call the 90-10 rule. We let the clipper do 90% of the work, and then we file just the last 10%. That was a big surprise for me. I thought I had to use a file to get a perfect shape. Not at all. Letting the clipper do all that heavy lifting and just letting that file do that last bits of smoothing is so much easier. It saves you so much time. And who doesn't want things to be easier and give themselves more time? So with the 90-10 rule, we will use the clipper for most of the shaping. So my best tip for shaping in general is to go super, super slowly and to continue to check your work as you go. So I will start by doing really slow, tiny little clips, because like cutting your own bangs at home, you can always cut more, but you can't put more back, okay? So go really nice and slow. It's not a catastrophe if you take off too much, but you just basically have to wait another, I don't know how my nails grow so slow. So I wait about 2 weeks if I have to change my shape. So good reminder to go nice and slow here. We also get a question a lot about what shape is best for me. We don't believe in any of these, like if your cuticle shape is round, then your nail shape should be round. We believe that whatever shape you like is the best shape for you. So I tend to prefer rounded shapes. That's also because I like to wear chunky grandma sweaters. And so rounded nails like this really help not catch my nails on any of those like nubby sweaters. But again, totally up to you.
Have the shorter side of nails, do you recommend no clipping, straight to file?
Great question.
We have
I
feel you.
love I love hashtag short nail life. So hello, fellow short nail friend. When it comes to shaping, if you don't think you have a significant amount of length to take off, or you're not trying to significantly change your shape, you may only need to file. So no worries. All of this is meant to be whatever you think you need and whatever you think you want to. Like I said, my nails don't grow.
Clippers literally changed my life.
The which ones?
The straight edge clippers, because like I didn't even know they made those for a kit. And then I would always just use the normal clippers, which were rounded and take off too much every single time.
Oh my god.
We have a SquareLife over here.
Hello, SquareLife. I don't tend to do square shapes because, like I said, grandma sweaters are my favorite thing. But
Yes.
I've been known to change. You know, I don't have tattoos, but I like to change my nail shape because that's about as adventurous as I get. All right, so once I've done my little clips, and you know, this is kind of gross, but you can see that the little pieces of nail I'm taking off are super, super small. There's not like major pieces of nail coming off. And then I don't end up taking off too much, you know, giving myself a bad bang trim. So then once I have done my shaping, I'm going to come to my file, and basically all I use the file for is to smooth over all of those tiny little clips that I made. And just kind of bringing it all together. And my best tip for filing, particularly in this cold, dry weather, is to always move your file in one direction. So I know that it was like very cool in the movies to see the people like filing their nails at their locker like this back and forth. That is actually one of the worst things you can do for your nails because it can lead to shredding, particularly when stuff is really dry, all this hand sanitizer. So what we do is we keep our file and we move it really deliberately in one direction and then lifting it up and away so that I don't get that shred situation at the tip of my nails. Also, I know we are doing a lot of online shopping right now, but our hands are not tools. So remember to use knives or scissors to open your boxes because we see a lot of people experiencing peeling at the tips from them like opening a box like that. All right, so I just go around like this, super easy, nice and gentle. Again, I'm not doing any major shaping with this file. I'm just smoothing everything over. I also like to kind of run my finger along the tip and make sure it feels nice and smooth. Easy peasy. And when you're doing a round shape, I like to kind of make sure that my wrist is flicking in a round fashion. For my friend who is team square nails, one of the best things about the file is you can literally use it as kind of like a guide to hold it up against the tip of your nail. And you know that if it's perfectly flat with a nail file, you've achieved a perfectly flat square tip. So fun fact there. And that's all for shaping. Easy.
So your manicure is so fresh already.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, with spring here, I've been like painting all the new shades. I just can't resist. Wow. All right. Okay. So now we are ready to begin our cuticle work. So now that I've done all my shaping, I'm going to take my old polish off. I'm going to use our nail polish remover pot. If you have never used our nail polish remover pot and you want to believe in magic, I highly recommend it. It is this brilliant little pot filled with a sponge. It is an acetone-free formula, but it's still super fast at taking off your nail polish, which can be kind of a hassle if you're using some nail polish remover that's non-acetone. It feels like you have to like basically bulldoze it to take it off. But this is super, super fast, non-acetone, so it's a bit gentler on your nails than some of that pure acetone you might get at the store. And you will see we will come back to this nail polish remover pot many times throughout the rest of our mani process.
That was the fastest I think I've ever seen nail polish removed. That was amazing.
Yo, I said, if you want to believe in magic, and I was not lying. If you show this to like a child or like any like men who've never seen nail polish before, epic.
Guys, this is live, real time. I swear to God, I did not fast forward.
Can you imagine?
The nail polish remover pot lasts?
That is a great question. So it really depends on how often you're doing your nails. I paint my nails, like I said, 3 times a day. So I use it quite a bit. Most people in our community do their nails about once a week. And they find that their remover pots last a couple weeks to a couple months. The other thing is it depends on what kind of shades you're using. So if you're using a lot of reds and oranges and sort of deeply pigmented shades, you might find that over time, your nail polish remover pot won't last as long as your friend who prefers sheer shades, just because it won't show up as much. The sponge is kind of trapping and dissolving that pigment. But it all depends on how much you use it.
Do you happen to have the petty remover pot by you or no?
Oh yeah, well it's in my little polish tray. Hold on, let me grab it for you.
Okay. Because yes, we do make one for pedis specifically too. It's kind of hard to explain, so that's why I'm having her grab it to show all of you.
Ta-da! All right, so this is our nail polish remover pot that comes in the pedi system. Before we came out with our pedi kit, we were finding that people were trying to like stick their toes in this pot to take their polish off, which doesn't work. I've tried it myself. So what we did was we invented this pot where in the bottom, it's the same sponge you love. So you stick your finger in and it comes off, but the cap has a brilliant saturated sponge so that you can quickly run this over your toes, take your toe polish off without messing up your manis. Genius.
That one also duals for manis too, because you can still stick your finger in the main part. So win-win with the pedi.
This friend works overtime, no doubt, no doubt. Okay. All right. How is everyone? Are we following along?
We're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go
is
into
painting along. Sound off in the comments.
I know we are a captivating audience or a captivating performance.
Got some people painting along, and then some are cold on the remover pots. Already learning so much. Perfect. But yes, let's get to cuticle prep.
Okay, so another thing that was a game changer for yours truly is I'd grown up going to the nail salon, and you always like stick your hands in that little bowl of soapy water because that's the only way to do your cuticles, right? Wrong, friends. All you need to do is take your precious thumbnail. That's right. We do not make a tool for your cuticles because we don't make things you don't need. Literally, we don't want to tell you stuff you don't need. That's not our jam. I know that doesn't sound like a normal business plan, but we're just not about that life. So all you want to do is take your thumbnail and gently push back your cuticles. Gently, gently pushing back just like this. The cuticles are that sticky skin that grow onto the surface of your nail. So all you're doing is basically taking that nail and pushing it back. You're not pushing any of that live skin over here. You're not pushing too hard. You're just gently pushing everybody back like this. And I have been doing my nails, like I said, multiple times a day, but we will show you that when you keep up with this cuticle pushback method, it may take a few weeks, might take a month or so, but your cuticles are very, very easy to train, and all you need to do is be consistent with them. So by pushing them back like this, eventually they will really, really lie flat, and they will be less of a beast the more times you do it. Over time, they'll be like, okay, I get it, friend. I'm not going to grow anymore, whatever you say. So then once you pushed, oh yeah, go for it.
Sorry, good question. Is it better to have them wet, or does it matter? What do we avoid?
Absolutely not. There is no water should be anywhere near any of your manicure. Literally, water is the enemy of a long-lasting manicure. Don't wash your hands. Don't take a bath right before you do your nails. Water is not your friend here. It will make your nail plate expand, and it'll make your polish come off in like this fantastically depressing pop in one go, and you'll be very sad. And will be very sad. So keep water away. Just keep up with pushing back your cuticles like this. It won't be perfect the first time, so don't worry. Just stick with it and be consistent. The other thing you can do is if you say you're taking a bath or a shower on a Saturday and you want to redo your manicure on a Sunday, what you can do after your bath or shower is push back your cuticles when they're a little bit softer to really kind of take advantage of that soft skin, and then know that you're going to repaint your nails the next day in case you accidentally kind of peel away some of that polish by pushing it back. But other than that, no water, no water, no water, no water, period.
It's crazy how much of a difference it is if you like don't wash your hands for at least a little bit before mani, because I used to always wash off my hands after filing and buffing, and then it would chip within, I would say, a day.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, well, in my salon, they always tell me to wash my hands after I file and buff or whatever. And manicurists have a whole arsenal of products that are there to dehydrate and prep your nails that you wouldn't necessarily have at home. So truly, I know it sounds crazy, but not using water will change your life. Hope and I get how many, like hundreds of DMs a day, people being like, everyone gets, you know, week-long manicures from your polish. My polish lasts a day. And we're like, hey, no worries. Like, walk us through what happened. And they're like, well, first I washed my hands. And we're like, I'm gonna stop you right there. So
right.
It's a total game changer.
The other thing to avoid, I would say, is our cuticle serum that comes in our mani kits. Some people often ask, do I put it on right after I do my cuticles before painting? That's another no-no. We want to stay away from any oils, anything. Don't touch your hair, nothing on your nail plate. We just want it as dry and dehydrated as possible so that the paint will stick that week long and longer manis.
Yeah, we regularly meet people who get like 12, 13, 14 days where they're like, my nails grew out so much that I finally had to change it, or I wanted a new color so badly that I had to change it. Like, that's the kind of problem we want you to have.
And then can we go over? Okay, perfect. I was gonna say buffing.
Yeah, so this is our buffing cube. It's a super, super gentle soft grit buffer. All I did was position the corner of that buffer where my nail plate meets my cuticle, and I'm just only gently buffing over that which I pushed back. And what that's doing is basically making my cuticles disappear without needing to use a cuticle nipper or a cuticle cutter. We also don't believe that unless you are with a licensed professional or yourself a licensed professional, that you should be cutting your cuticles. You can really hurt yourself. You can lead to an infection. And we believe that this cuticle process we have, it really works. You won't even need to cut your cuticles because they'll just need a little pushing and a little buffing, and then you're good to go. And be careful not to over buff. It's a super, super gentle motion. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on my nail plate. I'm just barely touching the surface, and it does all the work for you. And then the other thing I do with the buffer is just gently in circular motions go over the surface of all my nails, just to make sure my nail plate is nice and even. And you will see now everything feels kind of dusty, and you'll see why, you know, you're like, oh, cool, let me just wash my hands. Nope. All you got to do is come back to our friend, the nail polish remover pot, take all your fingers one more time, dip it back in the remover pot like so, and that'll eliminate all that dust, all that debris, any excess moisture that's lingering around there. And you'll see that your nails are super prepped and ready to paint. And just like Hope said, oils are hanging out everywhere. So don't put your hair in a bun, don't scratch your nose, don't touch your face, don't like touch even another part of your skin. Oil is everywhere. So if you accidentally touch something, just make sure you go back and re-dip in that nail polish remover pot. All right, and with that, we are ready to paint. Are there any other questions before we start painting?
I don't think so. I was just gonna let everyone know too, we do offer these type of classes every Monday for Mani 101 master classes and boot camp. So if you don't have your tools or kit at this time, you'll definitely have a time to like rewatch a whole class.
Totally. We are here any way you like to learn. Okay. We are ready to start painting. I'm going to be using JM today so that you can see it super well on our nails. One quick thing before we start painting, a lot of people shake their polish bottles to kind of mix the pigment up. We recommend you only roll your bottle like this in your hands back and forth, because if you shake your bottle, you will get bubbles. So roll only. And then I'm going to be using our new Spring Poppy, which just came out. It's super limited edition, so if you want it, use that code and grab it. But to use Poppy, which is our patented universal polish bottle handle, you want to first take off the overcap of your polish, which is a lift up. It's not a twist, it's just a pull up like that. And then you want to find the flat side of your brush. And the flat side of your brush is this wider sort of fan shaped side that you can see here. See, when you turn it sideways, it becomes much more narrow, flat, wide side of the brush. This is a specially designed brush to make it easier to paint your nails in the fewest amount of strokes possible. It also has a nice rounded tip here to match the shape of the base of your nail so that you can get that really nice clean line with very minimal effort. So once you've found that flat wide side of the brush, what we like to do is place the brush back in the bottle like this without twisting it on, just gently placing it in the bottle. And then we come to our friend Poppy and we line up the flat side of Poppy with that flat side of the brush that we just found. So I place it on top of the bottle and I do a little wiggle shimmy down on the inner cap like that. And then I turn my bottle sideways so that I can see just how much of the inner cap is visible. You do want to leave a little bit of inner cap visible like that, because if not, some people get very excited to use Poppy and then their Poppy basically eats their brush and you have to kind of like wiggle it back out. So just a little bit of inner cap visible is perfect. And then your polish is ready.
And then the base coat is built in. We do recommend with like darker shades and highly pigmented shades to use something like CCT or any other shears to prevent color transfer. But in general, our formula does have the base coat built in. And then Liv, can you go over how our shades are named? Like what is JM and
Absolutely.
what is CCT?
Sure. So JM, all of our shade names that are letters are initials of inspiring, powerful, boss babe women in our community. So CCT is named for Cologne Trude, who is the founder of Show Me Your Mumu. JM, for example, is named after Jennifer Meyer, the jewelry designer. CV, which is our red, is named for Claire Vivier, who's an amazing designer and close friend of the brand. So we love this amazing community of inspiring, powerful women, and we love to honor them through colors. So it's a very fun little special thing. And we love initials here at Olive and June as well.
And then if you guys don't have the Poppy, you can just paint with the overcap that it comes with. Like right now with CCT, Poppy does come with the Manny system and we sell it separately and it's at Target. So it really helps with your non-dominant, which Liv will show you since she is painting with her non-dominant hand.
Totally. Yes. So in addition to Poppy being the cutest thing ever, Poppy is brilliantly weighted, and so it feels much more stable in your hand, particularly if you've had a lot of coffee or you're just nervous and your hands tend to shake. And it's super comfy and it just makes painting so much easier. We found that for everybody who felt confident painting with their dominant hand, they would come to their non-dominant hand and it would look like it was painted by a 4-year-old with their eyes closed. So Poppy is a definite game changer. Plus, Poppy does work on top of other nail polish bottles in your collection. So Essie, OPI, NARS, Chanel, whoever you've got, Poppy likes to be friends with everybody. Okay, so now that we are all set up, I'm going to show you the #1 painting game-changing trick of all time, which is once you lift the polish out of the bottle like that, instead of starting really close to your cuticle and thinking that that's going to give you a really nice line and blow your mind, start the brush literally in the center of your nail and then push down super gently so that those bristles fan out beautifully and then pull back like that. And the reason why we do that is, again, everyone is used to getting that really beautiful nail line in the salons, and so they really try to get it themselves at home, and what they end up doing is flooding their cuticle. And we've all seen it. It's like the #1 telltale sign of a at-home mani gone wrong. And really, by starting in the middle like this, it gives you the control and you really get to decide how close you want to get. And you'll see if you're new to this, you might have a little bit more of a gap there than maybe someone who's been doing their nails at home for a while, but a little tiny gap between the polish and your cuticle line is never going to be seen by anyone but you, but a flooded cuticle is like dead giveaway situation. So trust us, start in the middle like this and push towards the base. And you'll see why the shape of this brush is so brilliant, because it basically just mimics that shape at the base of my nail, so that everything looks really precise and clean.
Can you also show us how much polish you get on the brush for each nail?
Totally. So I have actually quite wide nails, and my nails can take a lot of polish. So what I like to do is I lift the brush out of the bottle. I wipe one side of the brush along the neck of the bottle so that one side is loaded up with polish and then the other side is bare. And that's a good amount of polish for me. And then I just go right into painting like this. For people who have more narrow nails, you might need to take a little bit of that polish off. And really the only way to figure this part out is to test it yourself and see what you need. So if you do have more narrow nails, what you might do is lift the brush out of the bottle, wipe one side off like I do, and then just give a little kiss to the other side of the neck of the bottle just to take off a little bit of that polish. But this is the part where you kind of have to guess and check, as they say. And then a great tip for painting your thumb, sometimes people like to rest it against their hand like this. I like to rest it against my nail polish remover pot just to elevate it a little bit more. And then I start in the middle of my nail like this. I push towards the base of my cuticle and then I pull back. And my thumbs are super wide. My thumbs look like they belong to a different person. If anyone else has big thumbs like me, hello. But I sometimes find that I have to even refill my brush to cover my whole thumb. But I just say, no worries. And sometimes manicures feel different. Sometimes they feel like they did the day before. You will really learn muscle memory with painting.
So we have a question about capping. That is more of an advanced technique. It is, Liv, do you want to touch on it a little?
Yeah, so capping is basically where you apply polish to the free edge of your nail. It's called capping because I think of it as putting a little cap or a hat or a helmet or a beanie, whatever your hat of choice is, at the tip of your nail. Capping is a buzzword that we hear about a lot, and we find that a lot of people who are new to painting try to cap. And what happens is they end up getting too much polish at the tip of their nail. The best way to have your polish last a really long time is to do really, really thin coats, really even coats, and to let each coat dry for as long as possible in between each coat. So when you cap and you get like too thick of a lip at the tip of your nail, that is a recipe for chipping on day 2. Because when your polish is too thick, it'll just boop, pop right off. So capping is an advanced technique that requires a little bit of finesse with the polish. We do teach it in our advanced master classes, and we do have some videos about this on our Instagram TV. But if you're new to painting your nails, definitely don't try capping right away. Also, if your nails are short like mine are, when I'm typing, my nail doesn't actually come into contact with anything I'm typing or doing. And so I almost never cap because there's nothing for my nail to come in contact with, so I don't need that extra layer of protection.
Perfect. And then do you leave a little gap on the sides?
I love to leave a little gap on the sides. Again, it's something that no one really notices except for me, but it helps create this kind of like almost like runway nail contouring illusion. It makes my nails look a little bit more narrow. No one will notice a gap except for you, and it's like a great little trick. It ends up making your mani look so much neater and so much more streamlined.
And then how do you know how many coats to do?
Great question. So it's very important that your coats are super thin. You can see on this first coat, it is super streaky. You can see my nail through it. It looks insane. This is exactly what you want to see on your first coat. All of your coats should be this thin. So for most of our polishes, they might be 2 coats to get that look that you're looking for. But if you find you want to do 3 thin coats, go for it. What we see is a lot of people are like, oh, this polish is so thin and chalky and it doesn't cover my nail, whatever. It's exactly designed to be that way. So stick with it, thin coats. And again, wait as long as you can in between each coat, and you'll be on your way to that 10-day mani.
Okay, another question about wait time. How long do you think? So Liv's gonna go a little bit faster since we're doing this live, but we typically always recommend to wait 5 to 10 minutes in between coats just to make sure it is fully dry, because if you're putting another coat on top of wet paint, that's what's gonna lead to smudging and whatnot, and then chipping it the next day or so.
Totally. If you can time this to like a TV show or a podcast and force yourself to wait, that's going to be a total game changer for you. So when it comes to your second coat, You don't want to start in the middle of your nail like you did on the first one. Once you've got that base layer down, then you're good to start at the base of your cuticles like this. And again, nice and quick, thin coats. Make sure when you're painting, you really kind of think about like a golf swing or a baseball swing. You want to, especially when you're new, you're kind of like inspecting everything you're doing, and people tend to like stop right at the tip of their nail to make sure they're doing it right. Make sure you really, really follow through, because again, you want a nice, perfectly even, smooth application of paint, because any uneven thickness is going to lead you to some chipping. And for most of my manis, JM is opaque in 2 coats. I like to do a little check at the end, make sure everything is looking the way I want it to before I go into that top coat.
Do you alternate hands, or do you finish one and then move on to the other?
When I'm doing a mani at home, not for a class, I alternate hands, because again, the more time I can build into waiting, the better. But if you're good and disciplined and you can do one hand at a time, then go for it. I'm not that disciplined.
And the shears are always so great. So if you are painting with your CCT, you could do 2 coats or really make it buildable and a little bit more like pink to it by doing 3 super thin ones. Like I did our sheer BEB last night and was able to get away with 3 super thin ones, but it's like a really nice milky sheer.
So pretty. I feel like Beb is such a like royal color, and like CCT just makes me feel like an elegant person, or like my mom wears like 1 coat of CCT and it's just like a little bit of shine. It's so lovely. So shears are fun because it's like basically 10 shades in one. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 more coat of JM on my middle finger because it's my biggest finger, and so I want to have a little bit more polish on there so that it looks nice and opaque. Again, I would be waiting longer.
Would you recommend putting top coat first as a base, then a colored one?
Absolutely not. So top coat is literally formulated to be that final protective external layer for your polish. So if you put top coat on first and then you paint polish over it, basically it's going to repel that polish that you just put down. If you are worried about staining, or you're worried about your manicure lasting a long enough time, try our nail primer, which is not a base coat. It's just like an extra dehydrator that makes your nail polish last 2 to 3 days. Base coat was literally invented as a marketing thing where people were buying, polish, and they were like, okay, how can we get people to buy more things? And so they invented base coat. But our polish has the base coat built into the formula. So you literally do not need a base coat. We also find that when people who may love a base coat from another brand and they mix it with our polish, their polish doesn't last as long. And that's because polishes are formulated to work like a superhero team or like sisters. And when you mix 2 different chemical compositions, it won't work as well. So definitely give us a try, stick with the whole formula, whole system all the way through, and you will be amazed, I promise. Okay. So while I'm waiting to apply top coat, again, wait as long as you can in between each coat. Our mani system comes with a cleanup brush, which was inspired by the brushes our manicurists were using in the salons. And the cleanup brush is really going to help, one, if you're a beginner and you're getting polished like all over the place because you're new and you're just getting started. But the other thing that we love the cleanup brush for is to really perfect that line at the base of our cuticle. All that really nice precision is the key to a salon quality, salon looking mani at home. Whenever my friends do their own nails at home and I see them, I'm like, did you go to the salon? And they're like, nope, I just used the cleanup brush like you taught me to. So cleanup brush is everything. The devil's really in the details for like what makes it look profesh.
And it's so soothing to do. It's almost like the relaxation part.
Absolutely. I can get very in my head with the cleanup brush, and this is like my kind of moving meditation that I do.
And then we have one more question about bases. Would you recommend a strengthener underneath polish?
Again, when you mix brands, you're not going to necessarily get like the long lasting results that you're looking for, but you should write into Hope and tell her that you want us to make a strengthener, and then maybe we'll make it for you.
Exactly.
A hint, hint, nudge. Okay, so now that I've done my cleanup, I'm going to go in quickly with top coat. This is our super glossy top coat. It is the shiniest, most wonderful top coat in all of the land, if I do say so myself. It really does give you that almost three-dimensional gel-like shine that we all crave. And it is, again, so easy to do. I don't use Poppy when I'm using my top coat because it's clear. So if I make a mistake, no one really can tell. But resist the urge to really glob on the top coat. We know it's super, super shiny and makes your nails look like glass. But if you apply too much top coat, thick coats of anything will always bubble. And then you'll get these very annoying tiny little bubbles in your mani, and we'll be sad. And you'll be sad. So,
and then yeah, once someone just said flooded cuticle dang it, and I said if you have the polish remover pot, that's again when we use it to just start over. We don't like to really try to rescue the flooded cuticle because it's just easy to dip in and start over. But if you don't, I still recommend just taking the polish off that finger and starting over. Don't you, Liv?
Absolutely. We have a phrase we like here at Olive and June, which is don't be a hero. It's very hard to come back from a flooded cuticle. Why make it harder for yourself? Just start over. It's an etch-a-sketch for nails. I didn't mess up today because I'm nervous for this audience, but I regularly mess up at least one nail every single time, and I don't even worry about it or care because I just boom, dip it in, start over like it never happened.
Definitely.
All right, and then my last thing that I'm going to do is our mani system comes with cuticle serum, but we don't recommend you use cuticle serum until your nails are totally, totally dry, because if you get moisture up in there, it's going to get all smushy and weird. But one of our favorite things to add on to a mani system are our dry drops. And our dry drops are basically this genius invention that make your nails dry to the touch in 80 seconds. The other thing we love about our dry drops is that it's formulated with really nourishing jojoba oil. So we were finding that a lot of people, after they did their nails, they were really excited about, getting that hydration back into their nails because they had, not been washing their hands. They weren't able to use moisture or whatever. So the great thing about dry drops is it's nourishing your skin and your nails while it's drying them. So I like to do 2 drops per nail, like I said, because my nails are kind of wide. And if I get any excess, all I do is I take my hands and I just massage that excess nourishing oil, and I literally take it all the way down my nails like this. And I will see that everything gets nice and glowy and lovely.
And then so good.
80 seconds, you will see. I'm bad at counting, but let's see. I'll give it a little bit and I will show you that they literally become dry to the touch, which is for anyone who knows the pain of like sitting there and not being able to move. You are all of a sudden empowered to, start eating your snacks or whatever. But yeah, that's the mani all the way through. It's literally only 5 steps. We have a lot of fun little add-ons you can do, like the nail primer, for example, the dry drops. This hand serum has been a lifesaver for me in these hand sanitizer times because it's a super, super lightweight formula that absorbs in like 2 seconds, but it makes everything really nice and hydrated, plump, and glowy without feeling like greasy and gross. And what else can we tell you? Oh, once you've done your nails, you want them to last forever, right? So don't forget to reapply your top coat every 2 to 3 days. What that's going to do is breathe new shiny life into your nails. It's going to make them look brand new all over again. And it's going to protect that manicure. It's like an extra little insurance policy throughout your week so that you can make that mani last and last. But that is it,
about how to provide gloopy polishes. Some nail salons add something to it. What do we recommend?
So our polish is thicker than most because we put a lot of resin in it, which really helps your polish last a really long time. So our polish is thicker than most. The other thing is our polish is designed to dry with air. So if your polish is getting really, really gloopy, it might be old and time to replace, or it might be that you left it open during your mani. I know that can happen in the beginning because you're like going really slow. So our best tip is to keep your polish really nice and tightly closed in between manis, or even in between coats if you can, so that no air can get in there, because once air starts going in, it starts to dry it. You can try, sometimes nail salons use like a polish thinner, for example. Some people tell you to use nail polish remover. That will ruin your polish. So you can try a polish thinner, but truly, if it's starting to get gloopy, it might be just time to replace. We're really proud to offer a polish at an $8 per bottle price point, which is definitely lower than a lot of the clean nail polish brands in our space, and also from some of the like longer lasting polish in the space, because we wanted you to feel, one, like you could try a new color and not feel like it was a major investment, and two, feel like you could always have replacements of your top coat or your favorite shade, for example, at all times.
You do top coat again? Do you start in the middle or the cuticle?
I start at the cuticle. The only time you start in the middle is when you're doing your very first coat of your color.
Perfect. And then can you go over reapplying the top coat one more time? When do you do it? Yeah. Every 2 days, every 3?
Every 2 to 3 days really is fine. And you just want to reapply the top coat. You don't want to do it more than that, because you don't want to have too much thickness. And again, all you need is a thin coat of top coat.
Like just reseals it. And then how long should you wait to apply dry drops? You can actually do it right after top coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dry drops you can apply right away. And you can see I'm touching my nails. Sorry, I'm not, just gave you all the finger. I'm so sorry. But you can see it's really, really, really nice and dry.
And then how long should you wait before top coat? So after your last coat of polish, I would still wait the 5 to 10 minutes to make sure it is fully dry. Mm-hmm. And then the primer and the dry drops are add-ons to our mani system. So you can just extend the system.
It's just so fun. I've basically taken over my living room, and now I just have a mini salon, and I just do my nails 4 times a day. And that's how it's been for the last 9 months. And I couldn't be happier.
Love. JM is so pretty.
JM really is so pretty, especially with a piece of JM jewelry.
Yes, beautiful. Any more questions? What's your favorite color, Liv?
My favorite color of all time is a pastel lavender called TT. I don't know if I have it here. A pastel lavender called TT. And I'm really into lava, which just came out for spring. It's like a spicy orange. And of course, can never go wrong with like CV is such a classic cherry red.
I was going to tell them, for those who don't know, we launch a collection pretty much every season. So spring did just launch this past weekend. So the box right now, the mani system box, is this super cute. Do you have it with you? Or is it prop? Super cute, birds of paradise, little box that will hold all your tools. It comes with the pouch and then the limited edition poppy.
And I think y'all got a code for the box. So if you use your code now, you get this limited edition box and you get this cutie little peach poppy. So if you want this, y'all better go now. Yeah. They sell out and then people get very upset. And I'm just like, I told you, friend, I'm sorry.
Perfect. Yes, they're all saying that they got their codes.
Yeah, and it's the mani system is $50 for all the tools you just saw, and you get $10 off, which, if my math is right, is a large percentage off the box. I'm not going to do that math in my head because I can't. But
and that one will come with 1 polish choice, or we also offer the mani system with 6 polishes for $80. which is really bang for your buck because you'll then have so many color options.
Yeah, if you get the 6 polish box, you automatically save $29. So with your code, you'd save $39.
Yeah. Some people are worried that they threw away their codes. Will they get a sheet of codes later on?
I think it's just the one code for all of them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll share the code. It's not everyone didn't get like a unique code, so.
Okay, perfect.
Well, listen, this has been the joy of my Wednesday morning. We are here, like I said, for you all the time. Truly DM us anytime. And we are so excited to see y'all's manis. So please send us a DM or an email and show us what you're working with. And we look forward to being your nail besties for the rest of time.
We really do.
Can I request a mani boomerang?
A mani boomerang?
Yeah. If you could I'm going into gallery mode.
Get it, girl.
If you guys want to too. And then just like flutter your nails, be adorable. I'm going to do 2 screens. Okay. Boomerang. I have to remember to actually set it to boomerang. 3, 2, 1. We'll do one more because there's more than one screen. Keep going. You look so cute. Oh yes. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, thanks for humoring me.
I felt like the tennis clap version of Spirit Fingers. Like,
I know.
like, I have a quick question do you have do you do tutorials kind of walking through how to do the nail art that you currently have on with the lava?
Yes, we do. We have, for pretty much anything we share on our social channels, we pretty much always have a tutorial that accompanies it in stories. And then we also love to go live to show the process in real time as well. And we have mani masterclasses for a variety of topics, how to create your perfect ombre color combination to, pedicure basics to whatever you want. And we always take requests. So basically if someone DMs saying, I want this tutorial, it's pretty much going to happen for you the next day. So yeah.
Cool.
We have a lot of saved ones on our Instagram highlights too, from what we've done, whether it was holiday to Valentine's Day, whatnot.
Awesome. Any final questions before we get going with our afternoons and our new manicures?
If you can't think of any, we're still here after. Don't worry. We literally are always here.
We are.
I never leave this.
I'm excited to try to do that nail art that you have with the lava. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's also easy because you just let the cleanup brush do all the work for you too. So you don't have to be,
Nice. Someone asked if we recommend the same thing for petties, no water.
Absolutely. We do this started in our salons. We do waterless manis and petties, and we do waterless manis and petties at home too.
Awesome.
And do you offer nail art classes? So a lot of the intermediate and advanced mani master classes. So we typically offer 3 a week. They're an hour long. We go over basically the whole mani process one more time, but a lot of the intermediate and advanced will go into whether it's an ombre or dotting techniques or like Liv's new lava hand. Like she said, if you have any requests of something you want to learn, we can definitely help. We have lots of nail art teachers.
Yay. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. This is really great. And I'm excited to see everyone's manis and have a great rest of your afternoon.
So nice to meet all of y'all. What a treasure. We'll see you soon.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.